For this video, we're going to show how to do a drop-down list with the data validation option. So let's go ahead and click on cell C2. Then we're going to click on data, data validation, and here we're going to click to add rule. Notice this looks the same as the drop-down list, but here where it says criteria, we're going to click on this option and we're going to choose drop-down from a range. So here is where we would type that range in. But what we are going to do is come down here at the bottom. You'll see I have a tab called Data Info. I have already typed out a list of all the options that I want in this dropdown. So we're going to click on this little cell right here, select Data Range. Then I'm going to highlight all of column A. And I'll show you later why we're highlighting the entire column versus just these first 7 cells. Then click OK. You'll see it automatically populates my list here. I can choose drop-down colors if I want, but we're just going to leave this plain. Come down here to advanced options. I'm going to leave this as reject the input because I don't want people to have any other option to type in except what I have on this list. And let's go ahead and choose our option to arrow and click done. Now we'll come back to our tab, the data validation sheet, and you'll notice you have a drop down here where we can now choose the option from the drop down list. If we want to apply this to all the cells, because as you can see it's only applied to cell C2, we can click on this little blue dot and drag it down our screen, and now it's applied to all of these cells. However, it applied this responsible group member to each one. So let's do Control Z and undo that. We're going to come in here and we're going to actually just highlight that and delete it, so we're back to just a plain. Click on it again, and now we can highlight down all these cells. Now, most likely, you're going to continue to add names to this list, and you don't want to have to come in each time and keep dragging this down when you add a new name. So if you come over here to the right, you can see right now, this is applied to C2 to C19. So rather than having it stop at 19, we're just going to remove the 9, and we'll click done, and now you can see it has applied this to the entire column. All right, one last thing I want to show you is go back to our data info tab, and you might find that you want to eventually add other information here. So if I click here into this cell and add the words hello, and I come back to my data validation tab, notice now when I click here, hello has been added to the list. So this is why earlier when we talked about this, I said go ahead and have it do all of column A when you were selecting these options, so you can continue to add and make changes to this list. Let's go back to our sheet one more time. And I talked about how if somebody tried to type something that doesn't belong there, now you can see this hello doesn't belong on that list, so notice that little invalid because the input is wrong. If I start to type in here goodbye, notice it's going to say there was a problem. That is not allowed on this sheet. So this hello, you're going to want to just go ahead and erase that. The reason it did not reject that is because we had already had it in there. But again, notice if you try to type it now here, it will reject it because it's not on the list anymore.